Alright guys, this is my first video. Sorry if the audio is a little rough, but my name is MMA XP, and it's kind of just like a joke about the fact that I have no MMA experience. And I'm just kind of a little bit of a UFC casual, kind of not casual, just trying to help others and talk about MMA. And I'm going to be talking about the upcoming fights, UFC 325, and that's going to be this Saturday. And let's just get right into it. So I'm not going to do any of the early prelims because, I don't really know much about them, but to get into the first fight, it is Jonathan McCallef versus Oban Elliott. So I'm going to go Jonathan McCallef wins this by decision. I think Jonathan is very strong with good pressure, and he had a really good win in his debut. And he's just really big. He's probably one of the biggest in the welterweight division. He's just massive. And I think Oban Elliott he's also very fast and young with a lot more experience, I'd say. But he lost his last fight against a good prospect. He looks really small. He looks probably to be the faster guy. But he doesn't really have much power. He's a decent grappler, but I'd say Jonathan. They both are good grapplers. Oban Elliott might actually be a little better, but I just think he's going to get pressure on the feet. I think Oban might get cracked even. And Jonathan McCallef he's been KO'd, but I just think the power and the pressure is going to find Oban Elliott. So yeah, I'm just going to go Jonathan McCallef. I don't think it's going to be a KO though. I just think Oban Elliott, he might get wobbled, he might get cracked, but I think he can survive the 3 rounds. So the next fight, it's going to be Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finney. I'm going to go Torres Finney title run right now, and he wins by complete luck. I don't know if he actually is going to win. Honestly, Jacob Malkoun, the problem with him is that he's super inactive. He fights barely once a year, if that. And he's had about a 2-year layoff, I'm pretty sure, pretty close. And his last fight, he's doing good. I wasn't able to really find these fights, like I said, but I know that he won by weird KO. But he looks really solid. He looks like a good striker. And for Torres Finney, he has a decent amount of finishes on his record. I feel like it's a lot better than I expected. He's a good wrestler. His cardio it's questionable, and his last fight was really boring, where he just kind of smudged the guy, and I've never really seen him strike very well. I've tried to find these fights, and I've never really seen him even strike. He just goes for the fast double leg. He has a fast double leg, and he's definitely powerful. He does have some KOs on the feet. I actually have seen those, but I just think, I feel like the smart answer would be go Jacob Malkoun, but I don't really care about that. I'm just going to go Torres Finney by luck. Anyways, on to the next fight. I'm going to go Cam Ralston versus Cody Brundage. I'm going to say Cam Ralston wins by submission. Cam Ralston's a really good grappler. I've seen a bunch of his regional fights. Even his Dana White Contender Series. Well, I've seen a bunch of his local regional, before the UFC fights, and he was a really good grappler. And he looked a little sloppy on the feet. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen him get cracked a couple times, but I think his striking is really improved because he trained with CKB, Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker. He trained with them for a decade now, or long time, and he has really good ground and pound. His cardio, I think, was a little bit questionable, but he did defeat Andre Petroski in his last fight. It was a pretty good fight. He looks like he's pretty powerful. His striking is definitely better, and he's way longer and bigger than Cody Brundage. And for Cody Brundage, he's honestly just a GOAT. He might be the best fighter of all time. He got fluked by Bo Nickel. We know that. We know he definitely didn't get dominated on the feet or on the ground and just bullied by Bo Nickel. So, but actually, he lost a mini Roundtree, which is pretty funny. I didn't get to see the fight again. These fights are really hard to find, but I've seen people probably kind of question the scorecards, which I don't know, but he looks like he just swings crazy. even with the fight with Bo Nickel, he's kind of just swinging crazy, trying to make Bo Nickel uncomfortable, and it really didn't work. I mean, he has decent grappling, but he got bullied by Bo Nickel. And he looks like a decent striker. He looks a little chinny, but I just think Cam Rowson's gonna get it done by submission. I think his grappling is just too good, and it's not Bo Nickel. I don't think it's gonna be as good as Bo Nickel. He is a crazy wrestler, but I think his jiu-jitsu would probably be better than Bo Nickel. That's not really Bo Nickel's game, but anyways, Cam Rowston by submission. All right, and then Junior Tafa versus Billy Elkanana. Sorry, I cannot say that name, but Junior Tafa, he's a decent striker. Especially for his size, he's so big, but he's pretty fast and a decent striker. And in his last fight, I remember watching that fight. And in his last fight, he was winning on the feet, but gassed out bad and couldn't stop a takedown. They both were gassed, and he just could not stop a takedown. He would just get, the dude would just get close, and it's just an easy takedown. And he's 2-4 in the UFC. He's a horrible grappler, and only fights he's won have been against non-grapplers, or I think he won the fight really fast, so it didn't really get into the grappling too much. But he looks to be in great shape now. Honestly, he looks like he's slimmed down even more from his last fight. But I just think Billy is gonna be way too much. I mean, in his last fight, he fought someone. Oh, I remember watching his last fight. He fought someone bigger, taller, but it looked like the dude was just scared to get in the fight. And Billy just hit him with one check right hook. KO'd or knocked him down and then finished him with the submission. And he's just got nasty striking, good power, and he's a really good grappler. And I think he's just going to be a new prospect. He's one of the new prospects that's just going to beat Junior Tafa. And Billy fought, in his debut fight, I think he fought Bogdan Gustafov, which I think that was just too soon. He had a decent first round against Bogdan, but just gassed out really bad. And I think he gassed out because he just stayed in the position, just gassed himself out. But I think that was just too early for him, and I think this fight is just going to be way too easy for him, and he's going to beat Junior Tafa. But that's it for the prelims. Now onto the main card.